What's up, Tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Black Ink Crew Chicago Season 5, Episode 11. So, it seems like they're doing this tandem thing with regular Black Ink and Black Ink Crew Chicago. Now, I stopped reviewing regular Black Ink because I just could not. But I do like Chicago better than New York. So, I think we'll be good with Black Ink Chicago. So we started the episode off really pretty much where we left off with the last episode with the new 9 mag, the old 9 mag. And this episode really is just a tale of two shops, for real, for real. Now let me say this. There's a TV side of this, and then there's a real life side of this. So the real life, and I said this in last season the first half of this season when I was reviewing. In real life, the real like Ryan Henry, the non-TV personality Ryan Henry, there are a lot of things he wants to do um in his life, with his business, with his celebrity. And I think that he's really over the reality TV part of this, but I think he also respects the fact that reality TV got him to this part, if that makes any sense. So it's like, I know that without VH1, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I'm having right now to expand my business, to travel, to do all these wonderful things I'm doing. However, I'm really sort of over the formula: fight, drama, bullshit, so he created, and I gotta give him credit, he created a situation where he could make Big Fish and VH1 happy and still do what he wants to do on his professional side. And what that was he created two shops. He has the professional shop and he has the TV shop. Because you ain't gonna tell me that that the old 9 mag, like this whole episode, you ain't seen that only one person did a damn tattoo the whole episode. Four. He the only one that did a tattoo. Whereas on the other side, it's just a whole different, from TV, you can see it's a whole different vibe. So let's jump into this episode. So on the new 9 mag side, they have a staff meeting. Everybody got on their merch. Shop is, they talking about the type of music they're gonna play, how they're gonna mix it up because they're gonna have a variety of clients, how they can't just be listening to 3 6 Mafia all day, every day, that they're gonna have to throw a little Kelly Clarkson in there every once in a while, because that's what you do when you're trying to create, when you're trying to resolve, I mean not resolve, when you're trying to create a variety of clientele. And when you have different clientele coming in, that's the type of things you have to do to create that type of a business. He went over the rules and the expectations. He has a staff, like it's business. It is a business environment. And the people on that side are business people, right? Then on the other side of 9 mag, you got Van in charge, right? So they sitting there waiting for Van to show up. They don't know what's going on, what time they supposed to be at work. I still don't know why the hell Charmaine is there. I don't need, excuse me, is Don doing piercings? What the hell is Don doing? Bella's there. I guess she, excuse me, y'all. I guess she's an assistant. Assistant to what? Because of course she a little bit in her feelings because she started off as Ryan's assistant, but Ryan didn't take her with him to the new shop. But again, I get it because Bella started a lot of bullshit and drama, but that was from day one. Hell, she showed up for a job interview drunk. So I don't know what the hell you thought you was gonna get anything different. But okay. So um Van finally shows up and he is really on a power trip. He has somebody, his boy, come in to announce him. He has two women coming in throwing rose petals. He got a real coming to America thing going on. He comes in with a throne, honey. And then he has his rules. And his first rule is, even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. What kind of bullshit is that? Then rule number 2, Lily is not welcome here. Looking dead at Bella. Well, Bella and Lily are still friends. And I believe, well, we find out later on that they weren't living together anymore. But, at the time, people thought they were still roommates. And then he went on, through his, I think it was only 5 rules, but they were all dumb. I think it was one that wasn't too dumb, but for the most part, they were all bullshit. Then he got his whole Chicago Rilla staff. See, again, you need to keep the two businesses separate. It's cool to set up your merch and sell your merch out of the 9 mag, because I can respect that. But there's no need to bring your whole your whole tribe over to the non-mag where you're supposed to be tattooing all damn day, or at least running the shop. It's two different things. So Van is definitely on a power trip. He's definitely on a power trip. And as the episode goes on, we just definitely see that there's a big difference. So, even something as simple as the heat not working correctly on the old non-mag side. And Charmaine was like, I bet you the new non-mag got heat. I bet you they do. And Van, instead of you sitting there having a drink, bullshitting, you should be on the phone with building management. Because what Ryan said was basically they sat down and had a conversation and worked out a deal where pretty much Van is, it's not a sublease because Ryan still owns both shops. But Van, basically, they came up with an amount that Van would pay at the end of every month. Anything above that, I guess, is what Van can take home. And what Ford explained later on in the episode is that on the old non-mag side, they had booth rent. So what Van is bringing in is based off of the tattoos that he does, but also off of how many artists he has over there. Because if you're renting a booth, it's just like, stylists do the same thing. If you're renting a booth, it doesn't matter whether you do one head a day or 50 heads a day. Your booth rent is your booth rent. If it's $500 a month, it's $500 a month. And if you make $1,500 a month, then you're clearing $1,000 a month, right? Basic math. So they, I'm sure, set up what was acceptable based on what they know that Van could possibly make on that side and still clear a profit and still make money. And Ryan's thing is, as long as he cutting me my check at the end of the month, I really don't give a fuck what's going on over there. Like, they can have a party every night if they want to, as long as I get my money at the end of the month. I don't care what he do over there. And again, that's that business piece of it. That is the business piece of it. So Ford's back, and he is in such a great headspace. He said that he's ready to start tattooing again. He's been in the studio. He's working on a lot of good things. He said he was in just such a dark place that doing a tattoo, he couldn't even bring himself to even think about doing a tattoo. He couldn't even bring himself to, really doing that. He went into the studio to really work through the emotions and the depression, and that he's seeing a therapist. And Charmaine ends up interviewing him, and they ask him about Nikki. Come to find out, Nikki did reach out to him on, because I wondered about that when all that stuff went down last season. I wondered if Nikki reached out to him in any way, and he said Nikki did reach out to him on Instagram, and he didn't feel like it was sincere. Because he was like, we really, if it was really, he said, first of all, Nikki knows what I deal with. She knows I deal with depression, so I didn't hear from her until it started playing out publicly. And then she didn't reach out to me privately. She reached out to me publicly. And my thing is, you got that man's phone number. You know how to get in touch with him. It's one thing to publicly show support, but if you reached out to him through Instagram, but you didn't go into his DM or you didn't call him privately, then you got to question the sincerity of it. Now, that's Ford's side of the story. Nikki might say she reached out to him privately. I don't know. I will hope she did, because I did like Nikki, and I did like the fact that Nikki was like, I'm not doing this reality bullshit. I'm not playing with my relationship, and I'm not going to let Ford play with my emotions. And when she was done, she was done. Like, I can respect that. And she's under no obligation. Like, that is her ex-boyfriend. She's under no obligation to reach out to him. I'm just saying that if she chose to reach out to him, I hope she did it privately as well as publicly. But no, she's under no obligation to reach out to him at all. Their relationship is done. But feelings don't fall away that quickly. Anyway, the other thing they brought up was the fact that she hanging out with 50 Cent. It's a video surfaced by her at the club with 50 Cent. 50 Cent giving her money to make it rain. And let me say this to you, Nicole. The only thing I'm going to say to you is just be careful about taking money from 50 Cent, because first of all, it seems like everybody in Hollywood owe 50 Cent money. And second of all, he will blast you. So I don't care about the relationship. I ain't mad at you. Go for it. 50 Cent, sexy as hell. But you might not want to be taking no money from him. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, back to the shop. Ford goes into the old non-mag, and of course, everybody's happy to see him and everything. But Ford wants to do a tattoo, and he was like, it's cold over here. It's a bunch of dudes hanging out. It's not really the most conducive environment. He says, I have a client that's an NBA player, and this is not really necessarily where I want to bring my client. Now, what I like is we were under the impression that it was a man. But we come to find out later, it's a WNBA player which is still an NBA player. And I'm not saying it's a problem, but now I understand a little bit more about why he was kind of like, I don't know if this is the most conducive environment to bring her. It's a bunch of dudes hanging out. It's cold. You know what I mean? So he goes over to the new mag to see Ryan, see if he could just do the tattoo over there. You know, like, look, this just ain't the place I want to do my client right now. He goes over there, yo, they won't even let him in the door. Even Gina, who know Ford, wouldn't let him in the door. Was like, she hit him with the, hold on, let me see if Ryan is available. And closed the door in Ford's face. Ford was like, the fuck? So Ryan eventually comes out after Ford been standing out there waiting, you know, a few minutes or whatever. Ryan does the same thing. He comes in out in the hall and closes the door behind him. Like, yeah, what's up, man? Ford was like, what? I can't come in. Like, what's up? And Ryan was like, you know, basically they know not to let people in, you know, pretty much don't let the old nine mag up in here. He said, does that include me? Like, I know I'm old nine mag, but I'm also your one of your oldest friends. Like, we go back to high school. Like, I didn't think that included me. He was like, this just don't feel right, Ryan. This feel different. Ryan was like, hold on, let me tell you something. It's supposed to feel different. I said, you know what? I ain't mad at you, Ryan. I'm so not mad at Ryan. And Ryan used to, y'all know I used to not hate, but Ryan used to irk my nerves. But I'm so not mad at Ryan and how he's handling this situation. He said it's supposed to feel different. It ain't supposed to feel like the old nine mag. This ain't the old nine mag. And what he told Fool was, he said, look, understand something. At the end of the day, I always got a booth for you. I always have a booth for you. He said, and I've told you that, have I not? If you got to go on tour and come back, cool. I got a booth waiting for you. And I've always let you know that. But at the end of the day, this ain't for everybody over here. That's why I left people over there. This ain't for everybody over here. You, yes, you got a booth. No, everybody can't come through here whenever they feel like coming through here. So he ends up giving, you know, Ford tour. Ford's kind of like, still feel a little different. I don't know how I feel about it over here, but, you know, I got me a booth. I'm good. Until the manager, a real manager, presents him with a contract. Well, the reality is 99.9% of any job you go to, you're going to have to sign a contract. Hell, you got to sign a contract at McDonald's. You got to sign a contract, you know, work at the mall. Like, you sign, like, that's not unreal. Now, the problem is, again, y'all didn't do that over at the old 09 Mag. So you sitting there looking at Ryan like, this don't feel right. Then the contract says that they're percentages. So now on the new side of 9 Mag, they get paid off a percentage of their tattoos. And the more tattoos they do, the more Ryan makes. So again, if they have to turn over 10% to the house and you make you know, $1,500, then 150 of that go to Ryan. So then depending on how much you tattoo, it could exceed a flat rate of $500 a month, right? So Ford don't like that. He was like, I ain't never done percentages. Like, I always just did a booth rate. And they were like, yes, we understand. Over there, booth. Over here, percentage. Here's your contract. And Ford was like, well, you know, Ryan told me that those rules don't apply to me, you know. And I guess, you know, I guess Ford thought he was sort of going to be grandfathered in to the way things used to be done over at the old 9 Mag. And they were like, yeah, well, I talked to Ryan as well. And Ryan said, yeah, no, here's your contract. And so Ford decided, you know what? I'm just going back over here to the other side till I can talk to Ryan and we can kind of chop it up ourselves. And so he ends up doing his tattoo on the other side. Because again, no matter how dysfunctional the other side is, he still likes some of the freedom that they used to have on the other side. See, that's that 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. We see Ryan meet up with Rachel. He said, look, it ain't no date. Me and Rachel ain't back together, but we're still co-parenting and we have a good relationship. His son is playing basketball and they're working out, you know, the schedule for that or what have you. And he said, you know, basically I done set it up so that my schedule ends from 2 to 8. I'm not doing any tattoos. So I'll be free to pick him up for practice, drop him off for practice, go to games, all of that. He said, and for the first time in my life, I'm in a position that even when I'm not working, I'm making money. And see, now that's a sign of a true entrepreneur. Story. Real quick story. I was when I used to do my radio, well, it wasn't my radio show. When I was on a radio show, we had a guy that came through there one time who was an entrepreneur. And he had spent some time with Oprah in his travels. And he said that Oprah invited him to go to Africa. They were taking a trip, one of her trips over to Africa, and it was a group of people going. It wasn't like a one-on-one thing. It was like a group of people going, and they were going to Africa for, a couple of weeks or whatever. And she invited him to come. And he said that he had to tell her, no, I'm not going to be able to make it. And she said, why not? She said, I thought you had your own business. Like, you can't take a couple of weeks off. He was like, nah, if I'm not there, I'm not making money. And she was like, you're not an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? She was like, if you can't leave your business and still make money, then you're not an entrepreneur. And I was like, damn. And I understood the point she was making. And she wasn't trying to belittle him. She was just like, okay, I hear what you're saying. You're a business owner. That's cool. But if you're not at a position where you're still making money, even when you're not working, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where Ryan is now, and that's a great place to be. The other thing I'm missing, I don't know how I missed this. The other thing that happened with when Van came into the shop was he got into it with Bella, and he was being extra with Bella. He was bullying her, and I think he was trying to make her quit because he really didn't want her there. But he was doing, go shovel the snow, go pick up the rose petals, fold these t-shirts. Oh, these t-shirts are perfectly nicely folded, but unfold them and fold them again. And Bella was like, so wait a minute. These t-shirts that are sitting here that are perfectly folded, you want me to unfold them and fold them again? Like, you just know. Now you're just being a bully for no damn reason. And she ended up quitting and cussing him out, whatever. So then we see her and Lily talking. Don't even one of them have jobs now. They both got their own place. And Lily still ain't been working, since she left Nine Mag, and now Bella don't have a job. And Bella was like, yeah, and so Lily was like, that's just messed up that they bullying you. They call me a bully, but now they bullying you, and that's just a double standard, and that's wrong. And and Lily was like, I'm ready to just do something petty. I'm ready to be petty. So Van is having a party, which same shit, different day, strippers, liquor, and they show up at the party, really wanting to start some shit. Now Van got his Chicago Reelers in the building. Don ain't even there, I don't believe. Charmaine is there, and they end up getting into it because of course they showed up for no good reason. And they, Bella was like, you're not gonna treat me like that, Van. You're not gonna talk to me in your kind of way. You have a daughter. Would you want her boss to talk to you the way you talk to me? I mean, would you want that to happen? And mind you, by this time, Van is drunk. He's slurring his words. Y'all know how Van get when he get drunk. He's slurring his words and shit. He was like, no, you're right, I wouldn't. But that don't have nothing to do with you. He was like, I care about her. He's like, nah, you're right. I won't want nobody treating my daughter the way I treat you. But oh well. And then Bella turned it into this whole feminist movement. It's time's up for men like you. You're not gonna be harassing women on the job. You can't just be treating women any old kind of way on the job. It's just you, Bella. It's your drunk ass. And again, I'm not defending Van because I think Van was wrong in how he was treating her. I do think he was wrong. But at the end of the day, you have a track record. And I think he was trying to make you quit. So then here come Lily trying to jump in it and be all extra and do what Lily does. And here go and what did Lily do? Why she say my nigga? You still don't get it, Lily. You learned nothing. You still don't feel like you did anything wrong or do anything wrong, and that people just come at you for no damn reason. The reality of the situation is what they tried to explain to you last year is you don't get to use that word. I don't care where you grew up. I don't care what your friends told you. I don't care who around you used it. You're around people who have said to you, I don't appreciate you using this word around me. And you're in a work environment and you should respect that. Why somebody threw a drink on her? I thought that was funny. Because she didn't know where it came from. It just came out of nowhere. Somebody just threw a damn drink on her. And of course, from that point, Van tried to get her out of there. Now, I don't know where security was because Van actually physically picked her up and carried her away from the group and was talking to her or whatever. And then basically they ended up leaving. And of course, nothing was really resolved. But it's just really interesting that Lily. Anyway, I don't even fuck with Lily like that. But that was the episode. We'll see because there's some previews, so we're gonna see how some things play out with Lily and next week with Lily and all that. But we'll see how it plays out. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.